Hello, welcome to Pilates Matwork on this Friday, August the 6th. I'm glad that you're joining me today. So today's practice, we'll go back to basics a little bit, but we're going to have a little bit of a kind of a twist or different ways of doing certain things. And if you have a ring, Pilates ring, looks just like this, we will be incorporating this for some of our stretches and some of our exercises. If you don't have a ring, please don't feel like you can't do the class. You absolutely can. I will give options without the ring. All the ring does is add a little bit more challenge and resistance to some of the exercises, but it is not required to do what we're going to do today. So I'm just going to put that to the side for right now, and let's go ahead and come into our practice. So I am sitting up on a blanket here, so people that tend to be tighter in the hips tend to like to lift just a little bit higher. You can also bring in a yoga block here or a comfortable cushion if you've got that. So sit how you need to sit with comfort. And then from here, we'll just go into our neck stretches. So nice and tall. Think about ears, shoulders, and hips in alignment. Draw up from pubic bone behind the navel. If you're not really sure what that drawing up feels like, then for safety purposes, just take your belly button into your spine. So big inhale, exhale, drop that chin to the chest. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck. Breathe and expand that rib cage. And then inhale, exhale, we'll come back to center. Inhale, exhale, I'm going to take my left ear to my left shoulder. And as I'm doing that, I want to keep my shoulders nice and grounded here, just to facilitate that deeper stretch down the side of the neck. Good, inhale, exhale, back to center, inhale, exhale, other side. Good, again, I'm really relaxing down to this other shoulder. Inhale, exhale, coming back to center. Good. From here, trying to keep shoulders and sternum straight forward. Try not to let them move with you as you take the head and neck to the left, center, to the right, center. Again, to the left, center, right, center. Good. Let's go into some neck circles here. Or head circles, however you want to think about that. So think about leading with the chin. So let's start towards the right side this time. So I'm just going to take my chin over, and I'm going to think about drawing a circle down with that chin and coming up. Now, if it's not good for you to come all the way up and around, you go to your limit. Remember, the semicircle is fine too if you're someone that needs that. Good. I like to do this one with my eyes closed. You're welcome to keep them open. Good. Now we started on the right. We're going to pause here and we're going to take that in the other direction. And check in with the rest of your body too. So I kind of felt myself coming into that head pattern and leaning forward a little bit. So if you found that, think about, once again, ears, shoulders, and hips nice in alignment. And then from here, we'll draw that circle starting up and over. And coming back in. And up and over. Your breath is your own. And back down one more time. Taking it up, over, and back to center. From here, we'll take that chin back to center. Big inhale, reach, 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 nice and tall. Think about lengthening through that spine as you reach forward. And then from here, I'm going to drop my left arm down. I'm going to take a side bend to the left. When I do that, hip bones are grounded. You can come as deep as what your body will let you come here. And I'm breathing and expanding through that ribcage. And then from here, when you're ready, you can choose. You can stay here. You can side bend even deeper if you're able. You can open that heart towards the ceiling, getting a little bit of a different stretch here. Or you can find yourself coming into a C-curve roll. Forehead in the direction of the knee, but not touching. And I'm really reaching long with this right arm. Sit bones stay grounded no matter where you're working. And then from here, when you're ready, inhale and lengthen. Exhale, use your obliques, your side abs to come back to center. Reach, reach, reach. Right arm's gonna lower down. Take that side bend towards the right. Notice already if you feel any differences between the right and left side. So I slept funny on this side last night, so this side is definitely my tighter side today. I'm breathing and expanding. You can stay here. You can side bend deeper. Remember, you have that option to open towards the ceiling, or maybe finding a C-curve roll, forehead in the direction of the knee, but not touching. And then when you're ready, inhale and lengthen. Exhale, coming all the way back up. Let's reach, reach, reach. Coming into a gentle twist now. I'm going to rotate towards my left, taking my arms down. Rolling my shoulders back. Think about your back shoulder coming more towards the spine. Maybe head and neck can turn a little bit more behind you as well. Again, find expansion in the rib cage and try not to crank through the low back. And inhale and lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, exhale, take that twist to the other side. Rolling that back shoulder back, maybe looking a little bit more behind you. Again, finding expansion in that rib cage as you breathe. And then from here, we'll lift and coming back up. Good. So we're not going to do too many things on the wrist today versus other classes lately, but I am just going to go ahead and roll them out as I come down. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a stretchy here too. So I'm going to take my hands in the prayer and I'm kind of pressing them into each other. I'm just kind of taking them down. Good, good, good. And then maybe opening up into that nice little lotus and rolling in one direction. And then maybe in the opposite direction. Good. And then let's go into a little bit of a nerve stretch here. So taking your arms nice and long. Now really reach from shoulders to fingertips. Really spread those fingers wide. So you should feel stretching here between each of your fingers. Good. So we're going to take pointer and thumb together and open. Middle and thumb, open. Ring finger and thumb, open. Pinky and thumb, open. And then just go back through that. So I do have carpal tunnel in my right hand. And this nerve stretch helps it a lot actually. And then maybe once you've made that through, just kind of take the fingers behind you and then take them forward. And behind and forward. Good. From here, just take them forward and just kind of shake, shake, shake a few times. Good. And then just shake it out. Okay. From here, we are going to come onto our back. We're going to settle in with a little bit of expanding breath work just so that you know how it feels there. And then we're going to get right into moving. So I'm just going to come off my blanket. I'm just going to kind of move that to the side. So as you come to your back, take a moment to kind of settle in here. So I like to kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle a little bit to get settled into my space. Make sure that the knees are not too close into the glutes. But from here, and finding your neutral spine. So for me, my neutral spine, my tailbone is connected. I've got a natural curvature in my low back, so I'm not jamming anything into my space. My low rib cage is heavy connected. I'm like the collarbone, and hopefully my two frontal hip bones and my pubic bone are in the same plane. So they're kind of even like this. So I don't have hips kind of going up towards the ceiling. I don't have my pubic bone going up towards the ceiling. They're nice and even. Theoretically, you could balance a glass of water here or whatever your favorite beverage is. So kind of think about that nice evenness in your bone point here. Nice little triangle. So from here, I'm going to inhale and expand. So I want the rib cage to come out to the side. My belly button is in tighter, and I'm going to press that out. Pursing the lips, my belly button is coming in. I'm not poofing my belly button forward, so I'm keeping everything nice and tight and connected. And you can put your hands here and kind of feel that rib cage expand and kind of get a feel for what you're doing in the belly. So Inhale and expand. Inhale. Again. Good. From here, think about a nice corset belt is coming around the midsection. Everything is being held in nice and tight. I'm going to relax my arms to the side. Good. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come to tabletop position. So my knees are going to come over my hips. Shins are parallel to the floor. We're going to warm up the core doing some toe taps here. So you want to try and stay in your neutral spine. I'm only moving from the hip, so I'm not moving anything or changing the ankle or the angle in the knee. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to encourage a little bit of a hover, and then I'm going to really engage as I come back in, and we'll go to the other side. And come back. So there's one. Two. 3, watch your pelvis. 4, hinge from the hip. Keep that angle in the knee. Good, there's 5. 6. Tight in the belly. Here's 7. We're going to try to go to 8. If you need to take a break at any time, please feel free to do that. Never do anything you're not ready for a last one like this. And then from here, just take your knees into your chest for a moment. Relax. Good. We're going to make that a little bit more challenging for some of us. So knees are going to come back into your tabletop position. Knees over hips, shins parallel to the floor. Find that safe neutral. If what we just did, alternating the legs, is enough challenge for you, you're going to go back and do that a few more times. Those of you that want more challenge, zip those legs together. So you're zipped up at the knee, you're zipped up at the thigh, you're zipped up at the ankles. And we're going to double toe tap. Again, we're going to come into the hover. So only moving from the hips. Stopping at the tabletop. Into. Belly button in, being connected, staying neutral. Here's 3. 4. Take a break or go 5. And 6. Bringing in the knees, rock, 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 side to side. And I'm just going to kind of rub out because sometimes my quads get involved. You'll notice that too. It should they don't get as involved as they used to. But when we don't use our core, our quads, and the psoas muscle and everything here kind of take over. So that's why they get worn out very quickly. So just be mindful of that. Now, those of you that have a ring, we'll grab a ring. Those of you that don't have one, your arms are just going to come here. You're just not gripping or pressing in on anything. But we're going to come into some chest lift preps here. So my feet, hips and knees are parallel hip apart. So I'm going to reach and I'm going to come right through center. So I'm taking it up. And before we do this, let's actually go into some protraction and retraction work. So protraction, I'm going to reach my fingers towards the ceiling. So notice how my shoulders came off the mat. And then retraction, I'm really pulling them down, pressing them into the mat. So protraction, retraction, protraction, retraction, protraction, retraction, protraction, retraction. Good. From here, let's protract just a little bit. Belly button is in. Big inhale. Exhale. I'm going to nod my chin. I'm going to see curve. I'm lifting my shoulders off and I'm reaching long. Arms are going to lift and I'm going to lower that back down. Reach, inhale, exhale, nodding, coming all the way back up. Lift and lower back down. Good, there's 2. We're going to try to go for 6. So here's 3. Lift and lower. And 4. Belly button stays tight. and 5, and 6. Okay, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to add on one more thing. We're going to add a little bit of rotation here, and then we're going to take this into a different exercise. So for here, big inhale, exhale. I'm going to nod the chin, I'm going to come up, but as I come up, I'm just going to rotate a little bit towards my right. So if you've got the ring, you want to come to the outside of the right thigh. Both hips are grounded though, so I'm only kind of rotating through that torso and upper body. And then I'm going to come back down. Drawing up and in, and lift, and rotate, coming to the left, and take that back down. And again, we'll lift and rotate. Really lift that opposite arm, opposite rib cage off, and come down. And we'll lift and rotate. And we'll come back down. One more time each side, taking it up. Reach, reach, reach. And come down. And reach, reach, reach. And come down. Good. I'm just going to let this rest right here. I'm just going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to practice hundreds here. Now, if you're more of a beginner or you have some reason that you need to keep your knees grounded today, you can certainly do that. What you're going to do, I'll show you, actually look at this. So non-ring version, arms up. You'll be back in that chest lift. Arms are going to come long by your side, and you'll start pumping here, okay? Those of you that have the ring and you're still going to be grounded, you can choose maybe feet on the inside, coming maybe right above the knee. You're going to press out slightly, so you're going to get a little outer thigh, outer glute engagement here. You can also take your legs on the inside, and I'm going to recommend more around the, right up above the ankle, because some of us are really round in the thighs, and it's not always comfortable taking that up here. But we can usually make this one work. So it's going to take some work just holding that there. Okay, so that's one option. Same thing without the ring. Knees can be in tabletop. Okay, you can reach here. You can have your legs on the inside or the outside. I'm totally doing this in reverse. Good, there. And then those of you that are more advanced, with or without the ring, you're going to come to a diagonal line. And maybe you come into an external rotation. This means hips, knees, and toes turn out away from the body. So you can press inward for more inner thigh engagement. You can take this on the outside, still in the external rotation, for a little bit more outer engagement. Okay, I'm going to practice tabletop with my legs on the inside of this ring. You choose what's best for you. So finding your neutral spine, arms come up, big inhale, exhale, curve it up. I'm nodding the chin, my gaze is right between my thighs. I'm pumping long and strong from shoulders to fingertips. I'm not bending at the elbows. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, belly button in. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, eyes to thighs. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift higher. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, hold. Lift higher, reach deeper. And we'll take that down. Woo! Take that ring out for a moment. And we're going to rock, 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 side to side. Gently take head and neck from side to side. So I forgot to say it as I often do, but always know every time we do things up in a C curve, if your neck is just not having it that day, you can almost always still do the exercise being out of the C curve. So be mindful of that too. Good. So from here, we are going to roll over to our side. We're going to carefully come up. Good. And we're going to prepare for some roll-ups and roll-downs. So I will give you ring and non-ring versions and different options for different people. So those of you that are more beginners or you need a lot of modifications, and you will see me come back and do a modified version today. But You can bend the knees. You can hold right here. Notice how I'm starting nice and tall on the spine. I'm drawing up from pubic bone behind the navel. I'm going to really round that spine, so I'm kind of holding on here. And I'm going to come back to your limit. Your limit is usually where you feel like your feet are going to fly up off the floor. We want to keep them grounded. And so then we'll roll all the way back up and finding that nice tall spine. Some people like to roll forward here as a counter between each one. That's okay too. Option next, no arms, rolling back to your limit, and then rolling back forward. The next one, with or without your ring. I'm just going to demo with my ring. Good. I'm pressing it slightly. I'm nice and tall. Good. You can come back to your limit here. And then really reach through the legs and coming back up. And you can fold forward if you want to. Those of you that want to do the fold, good. And come back. And you can come all the way back if you want to, or you can just start the arms right here with or without the ring. What you don't want to do is momentum and swing everything forward. You're not using your core then, that's cheating. So some people will just do the roll down. You might roll over to your side, come back to your seat and just practice that, that's fine. From here, if you want to practice the roll up, we'll see if I can do it today. Big inhale, exhale, shh. We're reaching, oh, I'm reaching. I'm still coming up on that left side. My legs want to come up too. Whew. And I'm going to round forward. Now, I do not do that perfectly. So let me also say, ideally, you want to come up and go down through center. I'm still recovering from injury. I think most of it emotional now. And ideally, your legs stay on the floor. If you're home and you've got something, and I'm just going to test, since I'm talking about it, with this blanket here, right over my legs. We'll see if that makes a difference. You can train yourself this way too. I have done this with a weighted bar. Shh. So just a little bit better. I'm still favoring that left side, but my legs don't come up as high. So this is another option for you. Now, we're going to try and take, if you haven't done them already, about 6 of them. And then we're going to add on a twisty here. So I'm just going to modify from right here. Belly button stays in. Relaxing the shoulders. Good. I'm going to do one more. Good. Now from here, different people are going to look different ways. So we're going to do this as a little bit of a twist. So if you're bending your knees, take your legs a little bit wider. Good. Arms or ring are forward. You're going to come back to your limit. You're going to rotate to the right, and you're going to come up to the right. Now, same thing. If you are rolling all the way down, your legs are going to be long. And when you come up into the roll up, when you get out halfway, then you're going to rotate to your right and then go down that way as well. So I'm going to come down to my limit. I'm going to rotate center. I'm going to come up. You're also welcome to do the modification with me. It is super hard, especially when you've already done roll downs. Good. I'm going to come up and I'm going to rotate. And back center. Good, and rotate. Good. And back center. Good, and rotate. And back center. This is our last one. Take it all the way forward if you can. And we'll come all the way back down. We're going to go into some hamstring stretches here. So from here, as you come down, I'm going to use my ring to assist me in the stretch. If you don't have one, you'll take your hands behind that leg and let them travel up as high as it can go. This other leg can be bent or extended long and strong. You choose. Find a grip that's appropriate for you and bring it in. Good. So little softness in the knee. We don't want to lock it. Good. You can try overhand grips, underhand grips if you're super flexible. Maybe you can bring those forearms in there. It's kind of doing where your body needs you to have the stretch. And I'm breathing and expanding. Okay, I'm going to release out of here for a moment. So you can take your left hand to the outside of that right leg somewhere or to the ring. We're going to cross body stretch. Some of you are going to maybe put a bend in the knee. Some of you are going to arc over, and you might have to kind of move that leg around a little bit to find that sweet spot to get that stretch in here. Okay, and then from here, when we're ready, I'm going to remove that ring. Good. You can point or flex the foot, and we're going to go into circles. Now, I'm not going to cue smaller circles and then bigger circles this week. I'm just going to go to my range. So I encourage you to do the range too. So if you're newer, maybe you want the teacup saucer size. If you're a little bit more advanced, maybe dinner plate size. And those of you that have it, maybe coming into beach ball size. So watch your hips here, find the stability. If your leg is long, really try to take that heel into the floor. That will help. And when you get about 6 to 8 in this direction, we're going to reverse that. Core nice and tight. You're still stabilizing through the hips. And when you've completed 6 to 8 there, just take that back in. We're going to switch sides. Now your right knee can stay bent for extended long. You can pick up that ring if you're using it. We're going to stretch the left side. So bring that in. Good. Find the grip. Find the stretch is appropriate for you. Breathe and expand through it. And then from here, when you're ready, carefully release. Good. Right hand comes outside of that leg or holding on to your ring. Good. Arc that leg over. Maybe you have to move it around to find your sweet spot. Breathing and expanding still. Good. And then coming back to center, we'll remove that ring. So again, remember, if you're newer, if you need a little bit more control, you've got the teacup saucer size, a little bit more challenging, the dinner plate size. Most challenging is your beach ball size. You can even take your arms to the side or out here if you need a little bit more support. I'm going to cross over the midline. Good. 6 or 7 or back. 6, 7, or 8 will get you there. And then maybe reverse that. Good. And when you've completed 6 to 8, just bring that back in. Really bring your knees into your chest. Maybe hug yourself. And then from here, carefully roll over to your side. Good. And we're going to come back up. So we're going to roll like a ball, and we're starting it up here because I want to start from the balance. So I'm going to really bring it. And those of you that shouldn't be rolling like a ball can just be here and practice the balance if you're still working your core. So no worries. So from here, when you're ready, I'm just going to come right here. We're going to try for 8. Okay. So here's 1, 2, 3. Try not to swing the legs for momentum. There's 5, 4, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, can you fight for it? Can you fight for it? Your legs are a little bit more stretchy now. Can you hold on and kind of come a little bit wider? Notice how my back is long and my C curving it in. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to bring my knees back in. I'm going to hold here. As I roll down, I'm just going to lengthen my legs long. Nice, slow and controlled, maybe. And then from here, we're going to go right into our series of plank. we're gonna start knees in tabletop position, okay? I'm gonna take my arms up, so this is very similar to the hundreds in the chest lift. Big inhale, C, curve it up, belly button is in, gazes to the thighs. I'm gonna extend my left leg long as my left hand comes to my right knee. Right hand comes to the ankle. This is to help keep that hip, knee, and foot alignment here. And you're pressing it in, you're pulling it in, you're getting that stretch. And switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a break, go 5. 6, take a break, go 7. 8, take a break, 9. 10, woo. Can we go to 12? Woo. Maybe even 13, I lost count a little bit, and take that down. Okay, so try to take each one of these sets, 4, 6, 8, or 12. That's going to be to each side. So the higher the number, the harder they are. Double straight leg stretch. Let's take our legs up. Good. Then you point and flex the feet. Twirl those ankles in one direction and then the other. Good. From here, arms are going to come up. Big inhale. See, curve it up. My hands are coming behind that left leg or thigh. Right leg's going to come long and hover. The lower you take it, the hover, the harder it is. Pulse, pulse. Just the leg that you're pulling and switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. 2, 3, 4. All right, take a break for maybe long scissors. There are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Woo. Bring it back in, knees in, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Double leg stretch. I like to start with knees into the chest. Inhale, exhale, lifting. Good. So when you come around, when your arms come around, really pull in. So you're looking for that stretch again. So big exhale, inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Here's 2, 3, 4. Take a break. 5, 6. Take a break or keep going. 7, 8. Take a break or keep going. 9, 10. Can you make it to 12? 11 and 12. Bring that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And if you need to gently take head and neck from side to side, we'll do that. Good. Double straight leg stretch. Legs will come up here. Advanced people, if you'd like to bring in your ring, again, you can be on the outside. You can be on the inside. You can be parallel, meaning toes, knees, and hips face your face, or externally rotated, hips, knees, and toes turn out away from the body. So you choose where you want here. I actually want a little bit of the outer glutes, so I'm going to come on the inside. Good. Otherwise, legs can be together. You can have your upper body grounded or lifted in C curve. And if you're more of a beginner or you have trouble with that pelvis rocking back and forth, you can sit on your hands here. Some people really like that. So you choose where you want to be. I'm going to be right here. Drawing up and in, big inhale. Exhale, I'm going to be in C curve. Here's 1, 2, 3, bottom never leaves. 4, take a break or go 5, 6, 7, 8, can you go to 10? Here's 9, here's 10, 11, woo, and 12. Bringing that back in, release the ring if you used it. Going in a crisscross here, beginners, your feet are going to be more grounded, but everything else is the same for everyone else. Hands are going to come behind the head. You want to lead with the shoulder and the opposite rib cage. We're not taking our elbows over. We want to be a little bit more open to facilitate more oblique work. That's your waistline. So knees are going to be tabletop for everybody else. And your legs are gonna do what they do in the single leg stretch. So from here, I'm drawing up and in. I'm gonna lift and I'm gonna rotate. My right knee is in, left leg goes long. And then I'm gonna switch. My hips stay even and grounded. I'm only rotating. And here's 3, 4, take a break or go 5, 6, take a break, go 7, 8, take a break or go 9, 10, take a break, go 11, 12, woo, and take that down. And we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. Woo. And then whenever you're ready, you can choose your transition now. You can choose to roll like a ball and come up. You'll have to come, get a little bit of motion going. You can roll over to your side and come up, or through a roll up variation, if you've got that back in your practice, you can do that. I'm gonna choose rolling like a ball. And I'm using my core and my breath here. So I'm still not swinging my knees when I do that. Good. From here, you're going to take the legs forward. We're going to do spine stretch forward, and we're going to do a few different things here as well. Again, if you need to sit, my hips are a little bit more open now, but if you need to sit on a blanket, cushion, block, something like that, feel free. So I'm going to take my heels about as wide as my mat, and I'm going to come into an anterior tilt of pelvis. So tailbone comes back, hip bones rock forward. Okay, good. And we're going to do this, we're going to add on to this. So think about somebody's got a rope around your belly, and you're trying to fold over that rope, okay? So we're coming into a C curve first. We'll do this 4 times. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, really take the belly button in. Good. You can come to your limit. Gaze will be between the thighs or the knees, arms by the ears. And then starting from the tailbone, 1 vertebra at a time, you're gonna come all the way back up. And here's number 2. This is a great one to practice at the wall, peeling off and peeling yourself back on for training purposes. If you're not sure if you're coming back from a tall spine or you're really getting that engagement. Here's 3. Here's 4, last one like this. And then coming back up. Good. You can bring in your ring here if you want it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start this the same way we did. So we're going to round forward. And once you find yourself in a C curve, we're going to lengthen and extend. So I'm reaching. I'm using this ring to help me reach. And then I'm going to round as I come all the way back up. Good. We'll do that 3 more times. Nodding, rounding, spine stretch forward. Lengthen, find your extension in your left, and then we'll round, coming all the way back up. And you can press in, or you can think about pulling out. Find the engagement that works for you. Inhale, exhale. This is number 2. I think actually this is the last one. And we'll come all the way up here. Good. So we're going to go into spine stretch side. I'm just going to put that out to the way. Spine stretch side. Good. Think about ears, shoulders, and hips. Again, hips will stay grounded. And you're just coming to the side. And as you come to the side, think about squeezing that low rib cage and the top of that hip bone together. Really squeeze. Reset center. Take it to the other side. Good. And here's 2. 3. Last one, 4. And if you're not used to squeezing like that, you're going to feel these later, and then you can thank me. So there's our spine stretch side going into spine twist. Let's take our hands behind the head. So press your head into the hands. Good. Elbows out to where they're comfortable. Again, both hips are going to stay grounded. And we go to right and left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. All right. We're going to come into sol now. We're going to put some of those elements together. This time in this sol today, we're going to add a pulse to it. So I'm going to turn around so you can face me, or so I'm facing you, not you facing me. You're already facing me if you're watching. So we're going to take that into a pulse. So again, remember in sol, just like everything else we just did, hip bones stay grounded. So I'm going to take my arms to the side. I'm going to rotate to my right. Good. Now I'm rounding, I'm folding, I'm trying to saw my pinky toe off with my pinky finger. So now I've got this set. Now I'm going to pulse. 3, 2, 1. Coming all the way back up. Think about that spine stretch forward when you're peeling back up. And rotate. And reach. Pulse. 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 Come all the way up. And rotate. And around and reach. And pulse. 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 Pulse, come all the way up, and rotate, and round, pulse, 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 come back up, one more time each side, and we'll rotate, and we'll round and reach, and pulse, 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 come back up, and rotate, and round, pulse, 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 and come back up. Great job, bring everything in. We're going to roll down, and we're going to set up for modified corkscrew. So through a roll down, if you wish, we're rolling that down. Good. Maybe a little bit slower than what I just did. I felt myself collapse back there. Good. So modified corkscrew, I'm going to take my legs back up. Now some people like to sit on their hands for modified corkscrew. I do. And I'm going to take my legs together. Now, those of you, again, you want a little bit more challenge. If you've been legs on the inside, maybe take something a little bit different now. Good. So I'm just going to take that ring between my legs. Good. Drawing up and in. I'm going to go over to the side. I'm going to move through center and come up. And I'm going to rotate. And up. And rotate. And reverse. Good. Belly button in nice and tight here. Only come as low as you can maintain your neutral. And then from here, I'm just going to bend. I'm going to remove this ring. I'm going to keep it close. Good. So I'm going to rock again, maybe a little bit more. Good. Crossing ankles and coming forward. We're going to come onto our bellies now. Good. And we're going to kind of counter all of that forward flexion that we've done in the C curve with some nice extension. Now take your ring forward, if you've got that. Let me scoot back just a little bit here so that you can see better when we get there. So we're going to start with some swan preps, and then we'll go into a swan dive. So from here, I'm going to take my hands a little forward and a little bit to the side of my shoulders, so not directly under my shoulders. I'm going to roll my shoulders back. I'm lengthening, lengthening, lengthening my belly button in, my pubic bone is into the mat. And then I'm going to lift. Good. And maybe this little lift is all you can do today. We don't want to crunch the low spine. You can feel free to come higher. Arms don't have to be straight, but do want your shoulders. We don't want the shoulders to be up here. And we don't want crunching in the low spine. And so then from here, I'm just going to lower down. Good. 2 more times. Lengthen, belly button in. Find your swan prep. Cobra, as we call it in yoga. And lengthen, belly button in 1 more time. Good. And then we'll take that down. Good. So I'm just going to kind of take this ring to the side here. It might get in the way for swan dive. So in order to swan dive, you have to be able to do the swan. So swan, the prep that we just did for you is enough of a challenge. Go back and practice that again, or use this opportunity for a break. Otherwise, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. You'll come up, and then you'll reach and come back, and reach and come back, and back legs come up, and reach and come back. 1 more. Good. And then just carefully lower that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to do some lat work with our ring. So if you don't have a ring, what you're going to do, kind of take your hands together, kind of a little triangle, and you're going to reach forward. You're going to lift the upper body, and this is going to be you. Okay? Those of you that have the ring, we'll stand the ring on the one handle. We'll take our hands on top of the other handle. We're not pressing into it yet, so you've got to have that I'm back in the core strength to hold you up here. So we're lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Shoulders in their pockets. We're going to try and press for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press, hold. Take a break or lift. Second set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job from here. Release that ring. Hands under the shoulders. Press back. Child's pose. And then I'm going to come forward and we're going to do some side series work. Good. So from here, and we can have the ring. We might come to that. But I'm going to give you a couple options. More advanced people. First of all, I'm going to take my legs long and let's come into that 45-degree angle today. So hips and shoulders are still in alignment. You're just kind of taking your legs and feet. Think about the corner of your mat. So those of you that are more advanced, you can be on your forearm. You are lifted through the shoulder. This is hanging in the shoulder. You want to be lifted. This is hanging in the rib cage. You want to be lifted into the rib cage. See that difference? Hanging, lifted. You want to be lifted. If this or this is too challenging for you, follow me coming down to your shoulder. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, again, I'm going to keep this top leg in flexion. So that just means my toes are going to come to the face. I'm going to lift about hip height, and I'm going to come forward. I'm going to take it back, and I'm squeezing and take it back. Think about stretching that hip flexor. Here's 2, 3, 4. Watch your hips, they don't move. 5, 6. Take a break or go 7, and 8. Good. From here, keeping that leg, bringing it right back in line with that other leg. You're in that stack. And my foot is staying in flexion, and we're going to lift. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring that back down. Good. Going into leg circles. I'm going to keep this foot in flexion here. It's going to feel a little bit different. So I'm just going to take that forward and back. 1, 2, belly button in nice and tight. 3, 4, throw your forearm. Are you hanging in the shoulder? Can you lift through that rib cage? Good. And then when you're ready, we'll take that in reverse order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whew. If you need to bend that in, pat something out, go ahead. We're going to do one more little thing here. Good. So from here, whew, now we're going to lift the legs together. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift the top leg, and we're going to go into 10 little beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Nice and tight here. Roll onto your back for figure 4. So I had my right leg on top, so I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left. Whatever leg you had on top will cross over that opposite leg. You can open up here. You can bring it in. Whew. Rocking, rocking side to side. Good, and then from here when you're ready, I am just going to roll up like a ball and go into the other side. So you're welcome to do that too. This is just so that I do not have my back to you for the purpose of the camera, but you are welcome to do whatever you need to do to see or hear whatever you need to see. So again, you can be up on the forearm, shoulder lifted, rib cage lifted, or you can follow me being down. Good. So shoulders and hips in alignment. I'm just going to take those legs and feet right to the corner of my mat. Good. Flexion in that top leg. Going ahead, starting about hip height lift. Belly button is in. And we're going to go forward and back. Remember, you want that core engagement so your hips aren't doing this number. So you want to keep that. I think this is 6, 7, and 8. Good. And then take a little break if you need to. But we'll stay flexed. We're going to lift and lower. Lift once, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. From here, take a little break if you need one. We're going to go right into circles. I'm going to keep that foot in flexion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew, I'm going to bend in this knee. Take that little break. Good. Now we're going to go to the double leg lifts and the beats. So from here, whenever you're ready, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, lift, and here we go with the beats. Bottom legs work too. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Good. Go ahead. Come onto your back. Finding that figure 4. Good. So the leg you just worked is going to go on top. Whew. You can stay here. You can bring it into the chest. And rock, 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 side, side. Good. And then whenever you're ready, we are going to undo. We're going to stay right here. We're going to come into some bridges. So we're going to do 3 basic bridges, and then you have the opportunity to keep working through those bridges, or come with me with a more advanced option. But I'm going to roll my shoulders back. I want that nice base of support. So finding safe neutral before we start. So tailbone heavy and connected, natural curvature, low rib cage connected, hips, knees, and toes are going to trap. I'm going to take my heels in just a little bit closer to the glutes. Rolling shoulders back, big inhale. If you can, pressing through the feet, rocking the pelvis back, peeling it up. Your body will let you know when you should not come up any higher. You're looking for shoulders, hips, and knees being in that long line of engagement. And we'll roll that down, bone by bone, 1 vertebra at a time. And here we go, number 2. And then coming down. And here's number 3. And coming down. So remember, beginners, you'll stay right with those. And those of you that want to keep doing that, that's fine too. Some of you, though, are going to follow me. Maybe you rock it back up. Woo! Find a nice, good base of support in the shoulders. The right leg's going to lift. And we're going to lower and tap once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, lift, place that foot down, even the hips if they dip a little bit, and they usually do with everybody. Switching sides, here we go, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift it up, foot comes down, even the hips, and we'll take that back down, wiggle, 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 knees into the chest. Whew. And whenever you're ready, and the way that's best for you again, so I'm just going to rock it forward. I'm going to cross my ankles this time on this. I'm just going to roll like a ball. And I'm going to roll right forward here. We're going to come to some cat-cows. So from the cat-cows, good. Just inhale, shine the heart forward, tip the pelvis back. Exhale around. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Good. Before we go to our final plank and push-ups here, so I'm just going to move that room to the side. we are going to come to a little bit of a shoulder opener through thread the needle. So I'm just going to come back a little bit here. Good. So I'm going to start the side closest to you, which is my right side. So I've got my knees under the hips. They're a little bit wider apart if you've got some low back issues today. Right arm comes out to the side and reach and take it through. Good. Taking it down. Think about again. You've got a piece of paper under that head that you don't want to make a noise if it crumples. Think about taking that top ear a little bit more towards the ceiling. We want a long line from the head, neck, and the spine. So if you're pressing that bottom ear into the mat, you're putting a crank in that neck and stopping that energy flow. And then from here, we'll press up. Good. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Taking it into the other side. So left arm comes back. Take it through. Good. And again, long head, neck, and spine. Hips are over the knees. And when you're ready, pressing through, coming back up. All right, coming into a plank. We're going to try and hold this for 20 seconds. You choose. I'm going to come forward so you can have knees grounded. And those of you that have shoulder issues, this is going to also be easier on your shoulders as well. You can also come onto your forearms here if you want that version. Shoulders and elbows will come into alignment, or shoulders behind the elbows there. Otherwise, you can follow me coming up high. Drawing up and in, I'm going to lift long diagonal line from shoulder to the ankles or shoulder to knee. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo. Drop those knees. Take it back. We're going to go into push-ups here. Some of you are going to come back into that plank position and do this push-up. You've got 2 different ways to do push-ups. Elbows straight behind. We're going to get a little bit more into the triceps. Try not to collapse. Elbows out to the side. It's going to get a little bit more into the chest, but still also works your triceps. So you try yours where you need them. Now, some of you too are going to be on your knees. Maybe you come to that modified plank and do these. I'm going to modify these for myself because of my hand. I have an injured hand. Good. By coming to all fours and doing these from here. So rolling your shoulders back, belly button is in. We're going to try for 10. You do what you can. And here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to come real low. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. Come back, child's pose for a moment. Maybe cupcake the fingertips. And then when you're ready, hands down, moving forward, tucking the toes, find a downward facing dog. So just feel and press the hips back. Just feel a nice little back body stretch. Keep a bend in those knees if you're tight in those hamstrings or have some low back issues today. But you're pressing it in forward into your mat. Shoulders slide into bites. And then from here, with a little bit of a bend in the knees, we'll walk those hands back towards the feet. Good. I'm just going to dangle here for a moment. And then from here, I'm going to ragdoll it up. I'm pressing through my feet. I'm pressing through the whole leg, but I'm starting at the tailbone as I roll up. So there's a whole body engagement. Good. Coming to standing. Yes, my head is cut off. That's okay. We're going to do this one more time. Nodding through the chin. Peeling down. It's better to bend the knees than to hinge the hips back. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, I'm just going to walk it forward, taking my knees down, and have a seat. We're going to finish with a couple mermaids to each side. So for a mermaid here, I've got my feet and my knees towards my right side. Okay, so sit how you need to sit. And if this doesn't work for you because you're better being crisscross applesauce, that's fine too. Take that way. And then when you're ready, inhale and reach. Exhale, taking it over. And move through center. Nice counter stretch. One more time. Really hold. And move through center. And hold here. Good. Taking it up, hands behind. I'm just gonna switch those legs over to the side. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, taking it over. And counter. Good, little pause with this one, taking it over and pause. Moving through center, taking it over and pause. Good, from here when you're ready. That is your practice for this Friday going into the weekend. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, let me know if you have any questions, if you have any requests. I will do my best to accommodate them. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay well, stay good. Bye-bye.